It's really hard here. I want to be like, give it up for short Damon Wayans, but I didn't do it. Luckily, I didn't say that. Okay. Keeping the show moving right along. Please give a round of applause for the next comedian coming to the stage, KB.
Trying to bring him, should have left him. Learn my lesson. Poker faces keep him guessing. No expression.
Alright, so I went through a breakup at the end of last year, and I don't know about y'all, but my toxic trait is thinking heartbreak is just character development. You know? And that was a 4-year relationship. I'll never get that time back. But I did get a milk maker out of the deal, and now I make my own almond milk. You know? But here's the problem. It's not milk. You know? You can't milk an almond. You need a titty or a boob to produce milk. You know? So I call it by its scientifically accurate name, nut juice. And people love my nut juice. I give out my nut juice for free. My motto, give me a nut and I'll juice it. I offer my nut juice to people because I feel like I'm sharing a piece of myself. I went to Whole Foods and tried to pass out samples. And now I'm banned from the smoothie app. Turns out Whole Foods isn't cool when we passing out samples. And I don't know why they were tripping. You know, I label every nut juice with the date and the nut. I call it my release schedule. And I have a flavor for every situation. You know, it gives every jar its own personality. You know, I have a sleepy time nut. That's for the folks struggling to sleep. You know, I have pre-workout nut for my gym folks need the extra push in the gym. You know, I have Sunday morning nut. You know, that's for the brunch folks. I also have holiday spice nut for you people. It's good for families. And you know, because of my efforts, there's a small but passionate community that calls me Nut Daddy. And if you need nut juice after the show, just email me, nutdaddy86@gmail.com. You know, and in the subject line, put "need that nut juice now." You know, and breakups were crazy. You know, so you know what I learned. You know what I learned. You know, that breakup that I mentioned earlier. What I learned from that breakup was, you know, I want to become someone who's more affectionate. You know, I want to be a man who embraces love and intimacy. You know, so I started reading romance novels.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, but it turns out, surprisingly, you know, romance novels are the playbook for dirty talk. And I always wondered, where do people learn how to talk dirty? You know, so and you know, dirty talk is basically sexy customer service. You need to be clear, be specific, and the customer's always right. And I know a lot of y'all probably thought porn, right? I learned how to talk dirty from porn. But porn doesn't give you the emotional depth that a romance novel will. Right? So I got a quote for the fellas. You know, take this home tonight. And I want you to use this. And let me get it when I'm moving. I want to worship every inch of you until you forget your own name. Oh. That's beautiful. But how do you follow that up? You know, you can't go from worship every inch to flip over. That sounded like a scam. remember one time, I was with this woman. I hit her with another classic line. Oh, you like that? Right? I want to talk to y'all about "Oh, you like that" for a second. "Oh, you like that," ladies, is a question you don't have to answer. That's a rhetorical question. That's more for me than it is for you. Okay? I'm gonna get back to the story. I'm with this woman, right? I hit her with this, "Oh, you like that?" And this lady, and this lady, she turned into this Jezebel. Turned into Keith Lee from TikTok. So she hit me with I'm in KB's bedroom. I got it. Let's try it. And rate it 1 through 10. First things first, the motion is there. The passion is solid. The tempo, a little off. The entry angle, not my favorite. But the lighting is decent, and the effort was there. But I wouldn't drive to Lithonia again for it. I give that 6.4 out of 10. I got a question for y'all. Are fuckboys born or made? And I asked because I think I just met one, and he's 7. So, let me give you the story here. So I'm dating this girl, Kim, and things are going wonderful, and she invites me to a family reunion. There I meet Liam. He's 7, smart, loves dolphins, but he's got that, I'm gonna be your supervisor one day energy. And one of the first questions he asked me was, "Do you even know the difference between a triceratops and a protoceratops?" And I'm standing there like, what? But then that's when I saw the first red flag. He's a little too into my girl. He starts off sweet, hugs and kisses, But by the 5th hug, I'm like, all right, bro, it ain't cute no more. It's actually a little lame. Then after that, he starts slapping her on the booty. Yeah. So I'm looking around like, I know y'all see that. And they're laughing like, oh, Liam's so cute. So then I hear Kim introducing me to someone, and she's like, oh yeah, this is my friend KB. And I see Liam perk up on the side. Like, friend? Oh, that's just your friend? It's crazy. So now he's clocking me at every event, right? So the last straw, we're at the actual family cookout. And Liam is feeding my girl cake right in front of me. And at this point, you might be asking, are you jealous of a 7-year-old? You damn right I am. I want to be feeding her cake. I want to slap her on the ass. So I'm trying to get like Liam. So she's giving him, she gives him a hug and a kiss after the cake, and Liam looks at me with this smug little smile and says, "It's a wrap." And that's when I knew, this is not a child. This is a reincarnated fuckboy. He's got the spirit of a 25-year-old club promoter trapped in a Paw Patrol t-shirt. So now, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I fight him, should I mentor him or warn the others? So, are fuckboys born or made? I still don't know. All I know is Liam is a problem. Thank you for your time.
KB, give it up for KB.